Okay, I think I shouldn't be forgetting about anything. No, I sh- I shouldn't be forgetting about anything. So yeah, um, I hope probably um that we can do this without any problem so far. It seems okay. There it is. Yeah, we have no real things to worry about anymore. So transition. There it is. Hello everybody. Amazing. We are once again here in this particular place to talk about the stuff, to analyze topics, to think a little bit, because it has been a long time since the last occasion I utilized my brain. So yeah, we are getting here, as I said, to go deep to try and see what we can explore, what we can analyze properly. And yeah, basically that as always. So hello everybody, welcome as always, dear bot watchers or beautiful lurkers, and in particular today, Runespawn, who what the first comment. Wow! So yeah, hello. Um, I think I have a little bit of hard throats, I will say, but I haven't been smoking or anything like that so far, so I do not know why. Today I have it like this. I still don't care that much because it simply feels a little bit different, and it hurts. Let's say, but very deep down, not really that much. So yeah, I don't think it really is anything to worry about. And yeah, wow, blank basically. Yeah. Thank you for your blank comment. Thank you. So well, basically with that, we can try to go over here. Let me see. I make this small. Yeah. And yeah, there it is. Transition. What the fuck? What? There it is. Transition. And there we are. Or there, here we are. Basically, we had or I thought about these three things today, these three topics for supposedly an hour or so that we're going to be here. Because yeah, this is just the first half of this, let's say. So we have, or I had, more correctly to say, I had an interest on exploring these three ones: self-deception, environment and behavior, and aspirations and goals. As yeah, I mean, I have been very more than anything else. I have been interested on these two lower ones for a longer time, and now when was it? I think it was today or yesterday that I was trying to talk about it. Not that I really talk about almost anything with friends. I I was simply talking with myself and thinking to myself that it seems to be, or it seems to me at the very least, that there is something interesting to take from what the self-deception is. Aside from the already, I don't think we have talked about it here, but it is pretty well known. The concept of we tend to deceive ourselves for the sake of survival and such. But aside from that, for other reasons, if there is anything else to extract for. So yeah, I think those are the. It isn't that I think I know. Those are the three best ones I could come up with for today. So yeah. Um, okay. Let me get started over here. Let me say it like this. And well, I have been not that much worried, but at the same time, at the very least, thinking about it a little bit. That I have been not really using my hands that much since I think it was 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I don't remember. So I am um, a tiny bit, not completely, but a tiny bit worried about not properly having my hands at control, let's say. So I so far it seems I am not really doing that bad, but it still is a worry of mine to see and to notice that I might have some errors when scribbling stuff somewhere. So yeah, basically that. But on the other hand, I I haven't also not having the possibility of streaming that much. as I thought we were going to be completely done with celebrations and such, but it seems I was rather wrong. I, at the very least, I am still, or yeah, still now I am incredibly happy about the 3 hour long stream that we did the other day. In the sense of, I never thought that I was going to have the possibility of going for so long in, in these recent times, as with everything that has been going, and almost with in the same sense of what I said before. Also noticing that, let's say like this, other other um, in real life problems may also affect the ways in which I can stream or not. So yeah, but well, here concentrating now on what is real on screen. We had the first part, or we had not the first part. What we had literally the title of the video itself. That is self-deception. Now, what is it that we could try to talk about, and what is that we could analyze is the kind of problem? Because as I said before, we already know some stuff about it. Like I guess, in a sense, trying to write it down at the release will be beneficial. I guess, and yeah, let me do it then. So yeah, I wanted to say that we basically know and we basically understand already what, or we are not not that you already understand. Let's say we take for granted that we know what it means in the sense of all of the most well-known facts about self-deception and such. Let's say like that. And because of that same reason, it is that, at least on my case, I have an interest on seeing what else is there. Mm, so yeah, I think this is the easiest way to put almost all the different qualities that it has overall. That it is a defense mechanism of the well, just in case somehow. Um, Let me select this. Fuck of the mind. There it is. Just in case. That yeah, basically that it is a defense mechanism of the mind. Kind of implied that yeah, it is from somewhere. So that is as I said, that is the easiest way to say all of the important parts because um, I think if we were to take apart what it tries to mean, or not what it tries to mean, what it encapsulates, let's. I don't think it is really that necessary, as this ends up being more of an explanation than really an exploration about anything. But maybe also checking what I think I know and what not is useful. So the let me see. The first mechanism is useful because it works as a yeah, self-deception is a defense mechanism because it allows you to shield off. Okay, let's say like this. I don't think the quote unquote problem is to properly understand the different meanings of the word used on the definitions also, but it really isn't that hard compared, I don't know, to metaphysics, I would say. So yeah, mm, it allows you to create a dream reality, I would say, or a delusional state. I don't know if I think that is a good question. For example, if being delusional is the same as being self-deceitful with oneself, basically. Hmm, this. I think the only kind of important part here, description, short term, allows you to create a dream reality. Yeah, okay, quote unquote problem or thing that needs to be explained obviously is the concept of the dream itself, because it simply means something that is not real, let's say. Even if there is a contradiction in saying a dream reality, in the sense of making something that is not real a reality, while you possibly maybe you don't even notice sometimes that you are trying to or creating something that is not true. I don't know to that degree, but basically dream in the sense of, yeah, something that isn't possible with the events at hand themselves, let's say. But the important part is dream not in the sense of something good, but rather just in the sense of that something different from reality itself or from the actual reality. Mm, I think what I would like to say over here, as I also pointed out some time ago, quote unquote, is the let me do this over here. There it is. Is the what was it? So deception is okay. Uh, I I would guess probably in a sense they should have or they should what is it, share a definition or something like that. But is it really equal to delusional or not? Because what is really the difference between deceiving yourself mm, and creating or lying to yourself? Like maybe on one you think there is it like that? I I shouldn't have committed an error writing this word, no? Delusional. Um, but yeah, I don't know if there is any real difference between being delusional and being self-deceitful, probably. Or I will say, yeah, what I was trying to go for is probably here, if there is any real difference at all, uh, when you can realize that you are deceiving yourself, you can still comprehend that you are committing, I don't know if an error or not, because that is also part of this. If there is nothing to really gain from being mm, or from self-deceiving yourself, because I will say the potential of sometimes boosting your morale by creating a fake reality could be more beneficial than to live with what is the actual one that you have. In a sense, trying to say it with different words, it might be a tool to confront reality, not here in the sense of a defense mechanism, something like that. Because maybe, let's say that you can somehow, by creating lies around you that you can still comprehend as lies, you can, while embracing the fake part of it as something that might or might not really be important to you, you might have the chance of somehow still integrating those sides to yourself, let's say. And not because it really needs to be integrated with you, but rather because all of those conflagrations of ideas end up being so beneficial to you that by boosting something that is not, or not by boosting, by creating something that is not real, manifesting it into reality in the sense of setting a goal that you might need to work for more than the average guy, accept that it is almost impossible to achieve it, still go for it, and by doing so, slowly making it a reality, you need to start somewhere by, let's say, lying to yourself. Because Okay. I think that is something that we can kind of associate here. Um, Let me add the question mark just in case, because I do not know if they are really related or not. But what was it? Let's say like this. I do not know if every single one, as always, if the correct at the very least here, if the correct definition would be to say that every single one of the creative processes needs to start from a delusion. But at the very least, I will say the big majority of them needs to be born from a place in which you almost integrate a desire that should be for the actual you impossible to achieve because okay, I think we can kind of really correctly imply that it is something that starts with it as in self-deception. So yeah, anyways, as I was trying to say, and as I put a little bit more together in my mind, it isn't that every single one of the projects start with self-deception, but rather that what the actual fuck? There is a green grocer at this fucking hour. What? Uh, Quality content. I will have to fucking mute quality content. So yeah, please excuse me. This is this is a really Argentina moment. Fuck. we should be good. I think. Finally, sorry for that. I mean, I didn't expect that fucking green grocer to pass in the middle of the fucking evening. It was the most random thing that has happened so far. Um, what the actual fuck was that? Anyways, as I was trying to say before, hello, Rebecca. I was over here on the part of trying to understand this even more. And in the meanwhile, I wrote this. It allows to set an unattainable goal. And I think it also needs some more explanation. Like, it is unattainable because you can create, or not that you can create, you can project something so incredibly big that the, let's say like this, the actual you who is thinking about it needs to be changed for the sake of really making it a reality. Mm, Therefore, by deceiving yourself almost in the sense of, mm, I do not know if it is deception or not. Rather, maybe it is simply insulting what might hope represent. Maybe because this also has to deal with the concept, I think, by if we establish that this is part of the self-deception act, let's say, this really correlates with the concept also of hope in a sense. And if we establish that relationship, maybe we're really insulting, or maybe it is that to a certain degree we do not properly understand how, mm, let's say, how to say it. That is, hope and self-deception are basically two sides of the same coin, maybe, because you need, or let's say like this, mm, being delusional and self-deceiving, mm, are parts of the process of having hope, because you need to believe that what you are going to do is going to be worthy of your efforts, even if it means that in the actual present moment you can't really make it a reality, because you know and you accept, and even more you integrate it into part of the process itself, that it will take you time, and that sometimes you will even not have the chance of getting anywhere. And not because I think we are not really capable of doing it, but rather uh, something like because we can realize that what we are doing has to deal also with this proper concept of making, let's say like this, you create a dream reality, and this associates with, let's say, you trying to also create or trying to strive for something that is actually impossible, because when you do so you can also set goals that are so clear, or I do not know, I hope, or let's say like this whole process should be refined into something. Let me say like this. Um, no, wait, what the fuck is that line? Uh, what? I mean, the problem is how to properly say it. Like, is it that it allows you to create a proper pathway for you to keep moving on? Is it that because you set goals and because you are kind of being delusional in the sense of wanting to achieve something that should be impossible for your actual self, you're making it worth it? what is the part here, or what will be a good way to put it into words? Like, um, let me think. I probably something aching to. Mm, okay, we're going to be in a sense very broad with our definition here, but I think it still serves the purpose of somehow explaining what it achieves somehow. But we are still going to see how it performs. No, there it is. This ends up bringing light into the unknown in the sense of because you are de- deceiving yourself with an objective, mm, or let's say like this can be beneficial if you use it to deceive yourself with an objective that the actual you cannot achieve. Because when you do it, you start to also bring your focus into something that requires you to realize what are your actual flaws as a human being, let's say. Even if it doesn't really represent your actual loss or in any real way, something negative like, for example, having to having to negate other things or stuff like that. Y so by having all of that happening at the same time, if you use it for the sake of advancing your life, it is in a sense all of this could almost be, what is it, compared to hope, because you need to start with something so big and something so incredibly impossible to achieve that it falls into the same category, and it ends up needing you to master your capacity of dreaming. Because when you dream something so big and when you dream it so vividly, you start not to bring it into reality in the sense of simple manifestation or stuff like that, but rather you start to map out the ways in which you could start to work for it and you could start to make it be a reality. In the sense of mm, this is and isn't really similar, because when you self-deceive yourself for the sake of simple survival, you are only preserving your health at the cost of not living in the same reality as others. In that sense, that is why it is equal to being delusional on one hand, and on the other, while it still means that you're being delusional, if you use it for the interest of striving towards anything bigger than what you actually might have in your hands, it gives you the possibility of exploring more than what you could do if you were to simply do what is in your hands at the moment, because you cannot strive for something so big if you were to simply do what you know you can with your actual skills. Rather, when you set such a goal that it represents the whole change of who you actually are for the sake of achieving it, when you give all of those things a real shape, let's say, it is in those moments that you can really give it, or you can say that you're, whilst being delusional, achieving anything. But I mean, it almost, in that same sense, it almost is part of every every aspect of life, and maybe we do not see it that much because, in a sense, it has still a bad or a bad connotation to say that you're self-deceitful, or that you're delusional, or that you are in some cases crazy because you do not think so clearly and stuff like that. Because if we take it into the most abstract example, even trying to go for a degree, I think, could be considered being delusional, because you need to accept that you will have to study for so much hours, you will need to pass so many tests, and you never know if you have the capacity of doing it or not. You start with that, believing that you are going to be capable of doing it. And sometimes you don't even believe in yourself that you are going to be able to do it. You start with the curiosity of seeing if you are going to be capable of obtaining that, what do I say, title, PhD, whatever, going to university basically. Mm, you start to take courses, you start to learn, you start to become a master or a student of different disciplines, while accepting that it is something that is going to take you so much time, it might as well fail. But you still, while knowing that you are in some cases even failing, you still decide to keep going. And you still have the knowledge, somehow, that even if you have failed, it doesn't really mean that you cannot make it a reality. And even if your failures are a part of the process, they do not make the whole objective be impossible to achieve. In those cases, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I, I feel like I am going crazy here already with all of this, so I might as well move on into something else. I don't know. Um, I don't know. It feels like giving everything the attribute of being crazy out of nowhere, because you, in a sense, even on entertainment itself, you start to watch a series, in some cases believing that you're going to finish it without ever knowing if it is going to be interesting enough for you to have the possibility of really watching that whole series. So yeah, I don't know. It is kind of like out of nowhere everyone is crazy. It feels. I don't know. Or I will say like this, maybe, to not end it on such a weird note. What the fuck? Anyways, mm, when you can see that you can utilize this for something good, you have also the chance of observing how it is that in some cases you might be already using it for more negative parts of the process instead of really achieving anything worthy of your time. Because if you learn that it is inside of you the possibility of lying to yourself for the sake of achieving anything worthy enough, you might as well also have the possibility of taking notice how it is that you were doing it before and holding yourself back in the process. I think. I still don't really know. It feels like yeah, basically that out of nowhere everyone is crazy upset me, wow, 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 or something like that, or I am crazy, what, everybody is also crazy, wow, I don't know. Basically that is the whole concept. Let me make a marker out of it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know, my man. Also, this is the second time in a row that I forget to make the, what is it, starting marker. So yeah, it is incredible. Anyways, um, mm, we have to move into the second part, or well, into the second topic. Mm, that is environment and behavior. So let me. I don't know. Uh, it feels weird the way in which that idea ended somehow. I think maybe it feels weird because there is something more interesting to keep exploring, but also trying to make sense out of something so by itself weird doesn't stop being weird. Like I don't know, the whole feeling of exploring something so almost wrong makes it almost not worth it. I don't know. I will repeat it like 20 times in a row. I don't know. So, anyways, we have the second topic. And also, wait, I think I lag a little bit. Allow me to check. Did I lag? Yeah, I knew it. I lost 10 frames. It isn't anything, so we are fine basically. Um, Environment and behavior. So, I wanted to analyze this in the sense of we have been talking about it on other occasions, like the places in which people is placed really end up affecting the behaviors of the different parts, be it of groups and or individuals. So in that sense, I was also interested in seeing because I think there should be something like maybe in some cases we have a different um, guidelines, let's say, in as to how an individual should act compared to how a whole community should act in regards to the same kind of thing. Like, okay, the best, most understandable example would be if you were to see by yourself, um, going back into the hunter and what was the other fucking word? Hunter and prey era. Going back to that times, if you were to see an elephant, if you were alone, you shouldn't even try to fight an elephant. But if you were to be with your whole tribe, it will be more logical to try and hunt it down because you know that in those cases you have the possibility of killing an elephant if you are not alone. And on the other hand, if you believe that somehow you are capable of killing an elephant by yourself, you might as well be delusional because unless you can really create a plan to make it um, die by your hands somehow without killing, without the elephant killing or really damaging yourself in the process, unless you can create something like that and you can come up with something so sufficiently good. Okay, I mean, we might as well go back into this whole example repeated time. So let me. How does an elephant look? Something like this. I think I haven't drowned an elephant. I think in like maybe how many? 3 years or so. So yeah, please excuse me. This is the nose. Yeah, those are the elephant ears. Amazing. This is the best elephant, you know. And I still have to draw a second elephant. Elephant. You have an elephant, and if you are with the elephant or against the elephant yourself, you shouldn't try to fight the elephant because you know that the elephant is going to kill you, as I said before. But on the other hand, if you if you try to fight an elephant. Once again, the example is still one unit of elephants, not a herd of elephants. Mm, if you were to try and hunt, why the fuck is there another fucking greengrocer going? What the fuck is going on, my brother? What? Uh, I hope this one doesn't come close to my fucking house. Because if it does, I will also have to mute a second fucking time. What the actual fuck is going to I think this face is kind of sus. I don't know. I don't know how to draw fucking hell. This is fucking horrible, my man. Sorry for the elephants. They are fucking horrible, man. What the fuck is this? Anyways, the point being made is if you're not alone, you can kill it. If you're alone, you should avoid it. The same thing could be found on different things. Like, I had an example because I was thinking about it from the perspective of what was it? I can't remember exactly where is it that this idea came up with. Or why did I find it interesting to question this? I, at the very least, I hold the memory itself on my mind, but I can't really remember why is it that I had it on the first place. So, anyways, you have your lance with you, and you're going to kill the elephant when you're not alone. But if you're alone, you cannot do it. The same thing happens, I think, with different problems, even in our modern society, because we can we can say it like this. In some occasions, what happens is the elephant hasn't really disappeared. It has only changed its shape, or the elephant of elephants is still there, let's say, because now we don't feel okay. Let's say like this: it is impossible to construct a 50-story building by one man, but it is completely possible to build it if you have a whole construction team helping you do it. In that same sense, it is that the new elephant has become constructing this particular building because what happens is we have adapted simply the knowledge of how in groups we are more capable of doing things rather than when we are alone. But yeah, I think that is part of this. In some cases, it also happens that going back or trying to tie it down with uh, all of this and what I also mentioned before, with the simple concept of if you are delusional enough that you can believe you can kill an elephant by yourself, you might as well try it hard enough so that you can come up with a way to destroy the whole elephant, let's say. Because maybe even if you're alone, by utilizing traps, by utilizing tactics and more advanced tools, you can do the same as if you were with a group of people, as it happens most of the time with different situations from our normal life in terms of, for example, you can't nowadays you can't go from one state into another if you live in the same country by simply walking most of the time. But if you were to buy a car, you can do it alone. And if that solution isn't good enough for you, you can do it in a community way by taking a bus, by taking, I don't think it is necessary, but for example, by taking planes and such. We can find different solutions to the same elephant of a problem that we have in front of us in that sense. And it only, or I don't think only, it begs the individual who is trying to fight against anything of that sort to notice how it should be possible to try and fight against the elephant in a more clever way, I will say. But rather, it ends up being in the hands of the individual to really notice how is it that they could really destroy, no matter which one it was, the new elephant that appeared in front of them. Because, let's say like this, in reality, the elephant is only a new prey that has appeared, and the different preys that we set our eyes on end up being so complex and end up begging us to really take the proper measures that by the end of it all, we might as well not have the chance of destroying the proper elephants or sorry, the proper preys or hunting them down because we don't have the chance of really observing how to deal with them, maybe. But in that same sense, maybe also the word should be at this point. If we are already going from elephant to prey, we can also go from prey to objective. Because the different objectives that we set in our life only need us to admire them long enough so that we can come up with a proper solution towards them, not to let them not be part of how is it that we solve them or to find the easiest solution, but rather to find a clever solution that can be utilized not only by us but also by others. In the sense of, let's say, okay, let's say like this, going back into this particular example, if by learning how to kill an elephant by yourself, you can change this uh, negative thing into something rather positive, you can start to make your whole group needed to kill only one elephant. Therefore, if you can't make problems solvable by individuals rather than by groups, you also give the chance to the whole group to start focusing on more advanced, different, new problems, new, as I said before, praise, new objectives, new whatever. So, in that sense, it might be interesting to see or to try and probably have it inside of us a notion as to why will it be necessary to try and go for this different kind of behavior, let's say, because this whole idea also, I think it kind of deviated a little bit from the real explanation. I don't think even I can fit it properly on the screen now. Maybe, I don't know, but in some cases I think even accepting that our objectives can be overwhelmingly hard if we are alone, and trying to still overcome them end up giving to our whole community the chance of moving on from those, as we share also, yeah, kind of implied that we have to share the methods that we utilize for the sake of doing rather more interesting things and more important stuff, not simply spending on our time on meaningless activities. Or, for example, in some cases, going back into the example here of an elephant, you need first, if you're alone, you need to first go and gather other parts of your society to help you with the solvance of the problem. But when you can deal with it by yourself, you don't have to spend so much time in the whole arrangement of the problem solving parts of it, let's say. So yeah, I don't know. I need to write this stuff down, so I might as well try to go silent for some seconds. But I think that is a proper conclusion to this. Maybe, I don't know. Is it? We will see. Probably, I think I still also think there are some more proper or needed things here because, let's say, there are some problems that we might as well have not realized. We can only take upon when we are in a community And if we have the chance of realizing how is it that these different problems could be solved by individuals rather than by whole communities, if we have the possibility of doing that, we might as well keep advancing more. So I think that is, for example, a new problem in the realm of problems that end up arising after finding ways in which the past ones got already solved, let's say. I don't know. Let me try to write it all down because I would still like to have it basically here. So, I mean, while trying to provide some not so empty content, I am happy that the green grocer didn't pass on my street this time around. I hear it, and probably it was, I think, on the main street or something like that, but not on my street. Um, communities, community, yes, communities. Well, I mean, communities, groups, societies. It is the same, and for the sake of this explanation, it is literally the same. Um, let's say like this. Uh, I will say in this case, probably the environment itself is what ended up giving, or through past experiences, is it that this idea of the need being there instead of a possibility that could be solved by individuals was born from trial and error, probably. After my brother F. There it is. After. I mean, okay, there it is. I think it was born from something like this because I was analyzing it from the sense of why sometimes it is so predicated that it is impossible to solve depression by oneself when in reality the most crucial part is to really take the part of the depression itself by our own hands in the sense of the individual needs to be willing to solve it. And maybe it appeared in this case from the previous lessons of okay. We have seen that it is impossible to solve depression because so many people has tried and so many at this point even suicides have happened because of this same reason that we might as well start saying that depression needs to be treated by a party of two or more, not by simply one guy, because our previous experiences have taught us that, yeah, it is impossible to solve it by oneself. But maybe in that sense, I think, yeah, I will also start adding the conclusion, quote unquote conclusion, if we can call it that, that in reality, the whole side of this also, I don't know if needing or not, but at the very least, trying to add up a side of more interest needs to be said. So yeah, but what I was going for was we have seen that it has been so impossible to find somebody who can deal with depression by themselves by yeah that it might as well be changed the outlook that we have for it. So now we're going to try to focus in making societies strong against the whole problem of depression as a whole. Therefore, after we solve that, we will see if we can help others and we will see if we can give them the possibility of talking about it and dealing with it by themselves instead of needing to rely so much in society. Mm, I don't know. I was going in dealing with the problems alone. Uh, there lies the solution, but I don't think it will be also beneficial to say now we need to become completely lonely. Rather, there is always betterment. What is the proper way to say it? Refinement. Wait, what the fuck? There it is. I think I have said everything so far. I shouldn't be missing that much because I simply wanted to explore. At this point I don't even know what I wanted to explore at first when I said environment and behavior. So I think at the very least this conclusion is more than satisfying to me. So yeah. Anyways, uh, I don't know. It feels like we went a little bit of crazy here somehow. And the most amazing thing was to see that I am so incredibly tired after just 1 hour. So I have a very good excuse of, you know, I already stream a little bit, therefore I might as well take a break. But sorry, people. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It is it is kind of weird sometimes to think because the solutions do not feel pleasant, yet they are still good enough that I can be satisfied with what we end up finding over here. So I don't know. I don't know. It it is interesting. At the very least, it is interesting. I do not know if it is the most amazing thing or not, but it is that interesting at the bare minimum. So yeah, um, I don't know. we might as well go and stretch the brain, something, entertain ourselves now, because we have still a second round to go for this. I don't know. It really feels like sometimes we are going crazy on this place. So yeah, um, I don't even know what to say. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, as always, it was nice, but it also is part of the whole process, I will say, to take a break and to try to relax. Thanks for being here, as always. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for saying anything. Thanks for watching the world, dear world watchers. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the time, for the appreciation, for the interest, for the possibility of learning anything. If it is that it somehow happened, that anybody found um, anything at all here. Thanks as always for that. But no, 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 no. We are going to take a break. Yeah. We're ending. We're going to get back here later at night, but we're going to end it right now. We're getting back later on today, but let's say we might see it as this. We are going to take a 3 or 4 hour break, something like that. Wait, we have games done quick. We, we could right there, man. I want to watch some speedrun, but the course of entertainment. This is show shine. No, yeah. This is more important than anything else. We're going to right there. We're going to get some beautiful entertainment. Where on Games Done Quick, on the beautiful speedrunning site that funds money for important causes. So yeah, we're going to get there to entertain ourselves with some of that and to watch some of that beautiful um, content. So yes, thanks for everything. But now we might as well leave. Uh, where, as I said before, we're going to watch some speedruns because they are interesting and because also it is a good cause. So yeah, thanks as always, people. Thanks for being here. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for everything. Thanks for your time, your appreciation, everything. Thanks for all. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay good, stay nice, stay on the good way. And well, mm, whenever it happens, we are going to get back here a second time. Now, as I said, we are going to entertain ourselves a little bit. And yes, thank you, Rior Pecan, for being here. Goodbye, everyone. Stay safe, stay rested, stay hopeful more than anything else. And yeah, goodbye. Raid. Pew 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 pew.